One thing that is good to do when we are with teams is have some kind of activity where people learn from each other about their tendencies and their natural ways of behaving, and how there are similarities and differences, so that they understand each other better, and also they understand where they are having commonalities and maybe where they are having gaps in the team that might need to be completed, or they might have to be intentional about, because if they behave in their normal way of behaving, those gaps will not be attended. There are people that use MBTI, Insights, and other type of personality tests. I personally recommend the Lumina Spark Personality Portrait. It's based on strengths and what are the strengths of people, taking the portrait. And what you get in this portrait is based on 8 dimensions. Every person will have visibility of what there are the areas of behavior that come more natural to them in the day-to-day, and which ones they might be lacking. And you get this in 3 levels. You get this in your underlying persona. This is who you are, what you like doing, and who you are when you do what is really natural to you. Then you have your everyday persona. That is how you tend to behave in the day-to-day, because you adapt to your context, and sometimes you play down or play up some of your natural preferences to behave in the situations that you are. And then you have the overextended persona, and this is what happens when you're under stress. So when we work in a team, we do one of these profiles for every person, so that every person gets to understand what are these 3 personas that represent them. And then what we get to do is to see this in the context of a team. And we start seeing, for a team, for instance, of 6 people in this case, how they are when they are the most natural selves, and how as a team, if they were 100% authentic, the personality of the team will be. Then we see what really happens in the day-to-day for that team of those 6 people when they're working together. And we see how some of those behaviors start changing, and how the team together might behave differently in the day-to-day as how they will if they were 100% themselves. And finally, we also get to see how the team behave when they are under stress. And the reason why this is helpful, or the reasons why this is helpful, is because you get to see gaps. On the one side is maybe we are missing some outcome focus and discipline driven people, and this might be okay, or it might be a problem. So if you are a project management team, maybe this is a gap that needs to be addressed, and maybe then you will start hiring people to cover those gaps, for instance. And also it's very important so that we understand each other's preferences, and also we start to understand why sometimes or what to expect when we will put people through a very stressful project, a very demanding situation, and how the team might start behaving differently. And when we start seeing those behavioral changes, if we start seeing someone, for instance, that in the day-to-day, I don't know, this person is quite outcome focused, and we start seeing that they start behaving more inspiration driven, that might indicate for us as colleagues that the person is feeling stress. So this can also help us understand what's going on for our colleagues and ourselves. We're detecting ourselves. So running Lumina Portrait for a team and facilitating a workshop and a conversation around how are they behaving in different scenarios can be very powerful to create more empathy and understanding of the team as a whole, and where they need to go moving forward as a team in terms of how they meet, to cover maybe some of the gaps that they don't cover naturally, how they hire, and ultimately it's about using people's strengths and understanding people's strengths, and how to help the collective strengths to achieve what they want. And that starts by first understanding what those strengths are.